Welcome to The Explainer. So, when you think of poultry farming, you probably picture, a lot of pure manual labor, right? Well, get ready to scrap that image. Today, we're diving straight into how artificial intelligence is radically transforming this traditional, hands-on field into an absolute high-tech frontier. We're talking a massive shift here, moving from reactive animal care to highly predictive, data-driven veterinary medicine. It's wild stuff. Let's kick things off with a reality that literally sounds like science fiction, but it's happening right now as we speak. Get this. In the modern farm, the camera hears the chicken's cough before the vet even arrives. Just think about that for a second. In these cutting-edge facilities, we've got cameras and microphones identifying sick birds days before a human veterinarian even steps foot inside the barn. It completely rewrites the entire timeline of disease management. No way around it. It's a real game changer. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to breeze through 5 key areas. We'll start with veterinary medicine and the AI era, then look at computer vision and early diagnosis, move into predictive acoustic analytics for diseases, cover automating biosecurity and quality control, and finally wrap up with the vet's future and skills. Let's get right into it. All right, Section 1, veterinary medicine and the AI era. Let's look at this transition from traditional to high-tech. Now, traditionally, being an animal health quality manager is a massive, incredibly demanding job. You're out there overseeing field vets, maintaining biosecurity, investigating mortality. It's a lot. But here's the catch. It's almost entirely reactive. A human vet generally only treats symptoms once they're visible to the naked eye. We're talking obvious lethargy or full-blown clinical disease. But throw AI into the mix, the whole game changes. The system is watching 24/7. It picks up on those tiny early behavioral shifts, stuff like abnormal gathering, reduced movement, or just a sudden slight drop in appetite. This creates this absolutely critical time gap of several days where the vet can actually intervene before an outbreak even takes hold. Moving on to Section 2, computer vision and early diagnosis. Basically, spotting sickness fast. What's really fascinating here is the sheer data behind all this, 6,800. In the scientific studies we're looking at, researchers actually trained YOLO deep learning models on over 6,800 images of, wait for it, poultry droppings. I know, right? But why droppings? Well, because they are literally the best early indicator of flock health. So instead of a vet walking the barn floor and manually inspecting things, these AI models can now instantly classify those images into distinct categories. We're talking spotting coccidiosis, salmonella, Newcastle disease, or just confirming the bird is totally healthy, all in real time. It sets up an incredibly rapid initial diagnostic baseline. And honestly, these vision systems go way beyond just looking at the floor. They use edge AI capabilities directly inside the barn. And if you're wondering, that just means the data is processed right there on the cameras themselves, no massive server room required. This setup continuously monitors the flock. It's counting birds accurately, it's constantly assessing growth rates and flock uniformity, and yeah, it provides instant dead bird detection. This hands the veterinary team an absolute superpower for early intervention. It totally wipes out those dangerous blind spots that happen between physical vet visits. So if cameras can literally see sickness, what if the barn could actually listen for it? That brings us to Section 3, predictive acoustic analytics for diseases. And hey, this isn't just some theoretical lab research. Take a look at a commercial system called SoundTalks. It's a continuous acoustic monitoring tool that's deployed in real farms right now. And it never stops listening. It pulls in audio data, combines it with temperature and humidity sensors, and manages to pick up on the absolute faintest, earliest sneezes or coughs in the flock. Once it hears something off, it immediately fires off color-coded alerts through a cloud portal. So the vet gets these priority flags long before any human could have possibly heard those clinical signs while walking through a loud, crowded barn. The real kicker here, the staggering accuracy of these devices, 97%. Academic studies have shown that by using recurrent neural networks, which, is a specific flavor of AI that is just fantastic at processing sequential data like audio, analyzing these barn recordings hits over 97% diagnostic accuracy for respiratory disorders. That is a mind-blowing level of precision. It fundamentally shifts how we tackle respiratory health in these environments. All right, shifting gears. Section 4, automating biosecurity and quality control. Look, even if you have perfect early detection, keeping the facility completely isolated from outside threats is still absolutely critical. Historically, biosecurity was heavily based on the honor system and paper logs. Did the truck wash its wheels? Did the worker actually shower before entering? Well, not anymore. Now it's this seamless, automated flow. Step 1, geofencing automatically tracks the movement of vehicles between farms. Step 2, facial recognition or RFID systems strictly validate exactly who is entering specific zones. And Step 3, if a quarantine protocol is breached, automated alerts trigger instantly. Those dusty old paper logs are completely replaced before a single person even touches a door handle. And if you're wondering why we need all this automation, here's exactly why. There's a fascinating field study done in the Netherlands across 6 poultry farms, and some of these had a history of highly pathogenic avian influenza, so the stakes were high. The study exposed some pretty severe human flaws. Let's be real, humans get tired, right? We rush, we skip hand washing, we forget the boot disinfectants, or we just neglect to clean the egg transport wheels. This automated digital tracking perfectly bridges that vulnerability gap that's caused by simple, everyday human error. But actually, here's a really interesting catch to all this high-tech security. Industry analysis has flagged a very specific warning. Things like contact-based biometric readers, think fingerprint scanners for secure entry, they can actually become vectors for disease themselves if they aren't properly calibrated and regularly sanitized. Kind of ironic, right? It's a great reminder that when we implement new technology, we absolutely have to adopt our physical cleaning protocols to match it. Okay, let's shift from the barn itself to the final output, the eggs. AI is deeply integrated here too. Take commercial AI systems like Sonovo Farm Intelligence. They are currently processing an astounding 72,000 eggs per single hour on their packing lines. 72,000. Just try to imagine a human visually inspecting that volume of product. It's completely impossible. No way. So how does it work? Building on that computer vision tech we talked about earlier, as those 72,000 eggs fly by every hour, deep learning algorithms are snapping 16 high-resolution images of every single egg from multiple angles. It detects dirt, it finds microscopic leaks, and categorizes the whole batch with a 94 to 96% overall accuracy. It catches blood spots with over 92% accuracy and microscopic cracks at around 88%. We're talking about a level of speed, consistency, and accuracy that human quality control simply cannot compete with. Which finally leads us to Section 5, the vet's future and skills. Let's talk about AI as an assistant. So, with all this incredible tech taking over the observation, the tracking, and the quality control, you have to ask, what exactly happens to the human veterinarian? Are they getting replaced? Absolutely not. Far from it, actually. What we're seeing is AI augmentation. It works like this. Step 1, the system inputs the symptoms and environmental data. Step 2, the AI cross-references that against massive veterinary databases. Step 3, it suggests a ranked list of diagnostic probabilities. But here is the most crucial part. Step 4, the AI acts purely as a differential diagnosis support system. The final medical sign-off, the actual prescription, and the real-world contextual understanding, that strictly requires human expertise. Basically, the AI is the assistant, but the vet is very much the director. But to thrive as that director, tomorrow's vet really has to master an entirely new toolkit. They need the analytical chops to interpret false positives, distinguishing a genuine disease threat from a totally misleading alarm that was just caused by a dusty camera lens. They've got to expertly manage these digital animal health platforms, analyze complex biometric flock records, and honestly, perhaps most surprisingly, they'll need to communicate closely with IT teams to calibrate sensitive sensors to the messy reality of a barn environment. And that brings us to the end of today's explainer. But I want to leave you with a really fascinating paradox to chew on. Does full reliance on cameras and algorithms reduce the field vet's role, or does it do the exact opposite? By handing over the exhausting manual busywork of constant observation and basic counting to machines, are we diminishing the human expert? Or are we freeing them from the mundane, thereby elevating their medical capabilities, their strategic thinking, and their diagnostic power to completely unprecedented heights? It is a profound shift, and one that makes the future of agricultural science incredibly exciting. Thank you so much for joining me.